Hey guys, today I'm with Sollie. I just have him on a little long leash and a slip lead, just for corrections if he needs any pressure. He is e-collar trained, but I figured I would kind of show you his obedience without the e-collar so that you don't think you need it. He does need to be managed though. He is a Doberman Pinscher, so if he doesn't have his e-collar on, he needs to have his long leash on so that you guys can be responsive, and you can also guide him but also back up what you ask him to do. If he finds that you don't, then he will take advantage. And so he's in a sit right now. If he gets up without being released, I'll kind of check him for it with his leash a little bit until he sits back down. I do have some food here. I do want him to be motivated to work for me. I don't want to always make him do everything. So I'm just going to ask him to heel. Sollie, heel. Good. Sollie is on my right hand side. Leo, sit. Leo, sit, because Sheba is on my left hand side. So when I walk Sollie, I want him on my right hand side, and then I want Sheba on my left hand side. When I stop, I would like Sollie to go ahead and sit down. Alright? And I want to make sure that when I turn into Sollie that he yields and allows me to go around him. And you see that is a little difficult, partly because I had food in front of his face, heel, but also too partly because his leash was touching his butt and he was swinging out. So I don't have food in my hand right now, but I'd use my hand regardless of if I have food or not as guidance. Alright, so if I don't have food but I want him to Sollie lay down, good, I don't have any food, Sollie heel, I usually tap my leg. No, Sollie heel, good. No is a tone of disapproval, meaning that he is not doing something correctly. No usually comes with a correction just afterwards. So no, check him with the leash. No, give him a little stimulation on his collar. Okay, we're gonna go over all this when I see you for drop off, but I just want to put a little video to this. So when I'm training him for food, I usually put food in front of his nose and I'll turn into him. And since I can control the position of his head with my hand, because there's food in it, then we start to learn that when I take a right hand turn, he's to get out of my way, and therefore I can move around him. And when I stop my feet, if he doesn't sit immediately, I'll pick up on the leash, and you see he sat immediately there. All right, so there shouldn't be pressure on this leash. If there is, that means he's going to get checked, which is a swift correction, and then I release the tension. So there should not be tension on the leash. If there is, it should be that he is going to get corrected for putting tension on the leash, or that you are correcting him and you're kind of checking him with the leash. So when I start walking, I tap my leg, but you don't have to. I say heel. Good. Now, when Sollie is doing something that I want him to do, I say good. When he is doing something that I don't like, I say no, and then I ask him to do what I would like him to do. Kind of like, good. Kind of like you would a kid when you're teaching him. So, let's be clear, I am Sollie's mentor. He is not a robot. He needs guidance on a daily basis. Oh, excuse me, Sollie. You're just going crazy. Leo, sit. Good. And as you see, my dog there is Leo. He's been working with me for 5 years. I had to just remind him to sit back down. And that's because he wants to come and get food, right? So there's certain things that Sollie's going to want to do, such as have his freedom and call it like get his freedom and eat food and greet people and do all these other things that he wants to do. And it's our job to manage and maintain and be his mentor so that he knows that there's a time and place for all this, but he has to check with us to see if this is the right time or not. Okay? So we're just going to go over a couple things. Off. Good. If he's on the couch, we're going to ask him to get off. If he's on the counters, which he really never does, we're going to tell him to get off. Because off is not down. Down is down. Okay? You see Leo just followed my direction there too. I'm just gonna say stay. Leo gets a little bit of food for being good. Stay. Good. So, sit is to sit. Come. Good. And sit. Good. No. Sit. Good. So good or no lets him know that he did good, or that no, that's not what I'm asking, please try again. To get him to heel, I'm just going to tap my leg. Sollie, heel. And I kind of maneuver my hand just like this in a clockwise circular position. If he's laying down, I'll put a little pressure on the leash and say sit, good, when he sits, and no when he lays down. Good. If he continues sitting, I'll go ahead and give him some food. If he lays down, he's going to run into pressure until he sits. Good. All right. So, we're going to get him to come in front of us. I don't have food, but I'm using my hand. Sit, please, stay. Keep. Perfect. Stay. Stay. Sollie, come. Good. Usually I might just say okay there, but Leo's listening to me, and I know if I say okay, Leo might get up as well. Sit, Leo. Good. Stay. Good. Down. Good. Come. Good. Sit. Good. Down. Good. So, you don't have to treat him for every single behavior, but if he knows you have food, every other behavior, every third behavior would be nice. And as he continues behavior, I'll continue to treat him so that he doesn't just do behavior, get food, and get up. He's waiting for his release, or he's waiting for his next cue or command. So, since you have two dogs, like I have two dogs here, instead of saying okay, I would say Sollie, and then I'd give Sollie a direction. Sollie come, Sollie sit, Sollie lay down, so that Sheba doesn't get confused. If you say okay, okay means everybody can get up, everybody can do anything. Right now Leo knows he's not being worked with, so therefore we can kind of fudge that a little bit. So we'll say Sollie up, good, up and then off. Sollie off, good boy, there you go. So when I get him off of a couch or off of something I don't want, I usually add a little bit of stimulation on his collar. Now, he's going to want to do and be on some things that are comfortable, right? So for the first couple weeks, it's important that we back up every single thing he says, because he's used to me doing that, and now he's going to have a new handler and his pet parents again, and he's going to need to he's going to try some things, right? He's going to want to not work hard for a new person or for his family, and so we'll have to make sure that you guys are following through. Sollie up, good. So the reason I taught him off is because off is good and up is good, and then I changed that into off plus pressure with nothing. He still knows the same thing because he learned off, okay, in a positive perspective, and now I can just add a little pressure to force his hand or force his mind, and then he just complies. Stay. Okay, Sollie. Alright, so Sollie knows how to stand and stay. He knows how to sit and stay. He knows how to lay down and stay. If Sollie didn't stay, I would say no and correct him. I would walk over to him and make sure that he got back in the position that I wanted him to be in, and then we would start over again. So he's not perfect, he's a dog. He needs to be guided and mentored and coached. Sit, lay down. Good. Little food. I'm going to tell him to stay just one time and walk away. Stay. We can wait for a second. If he gets up before I tell him he can't, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to go right back over to him and get him into the position that he should have been in already. Sollie, come. Good boy. What a smart dog. Right. I work with them every day, but I don't expect you guys to. But every third day or fourth day, you need to send them through this. It's 15 or 20 minutes of solid work. That's not, I play with Sollie every day. That's no. The dog is working for me, right, wrong, good, no, yes, thank you, come here, sit down, lay down, please, good. so that he understands that it is time to work. Lay down. Good. He took that piece of food and then he took his liberty for freedom as well. Leo's kind of drifting off, but I'm not really training Leo, so I don't care. But if I were, I would say, Leo, no, sit. Leo, sit. Good boy. When he sits, I say good, and he waits to be released or for another prompt or another cue or something like that. So just keep this in mind. It's all decision trees. When he sees the scenario, if he starts to act in accordingly with what you would like, you're going to have to tell him no, and you're going to have to right the wrong and tell him what you would like. You're going to have to add a little bit of correction and a little pressure. When he's doing good, you can give him praise. Tell him good boy. Give him too much praise, too much excitement, then he might think you're his best friend and he doesn't have to work for his best friend anymore, and he'll start to take advantage of you. So celebrate not too much, and don't harshly correct him. Good or bad, yes or no, those are good corrections, and not punishment, and then he should be good to go. If you guys have any questions, then just let me know, but hopefully this